My name is Paul Blaske. I am 31 years old and I identify as a white cisgender male. I was born and raised in Minnesota, and that comes with it for me a lot of the Midwestern United States values. And then personally, I really identify with just the whole community of the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Everything from the sports teams here to the art and the culture and the restaurants and just really, I really appreciate just learning about all the unique contributions that people bring to this community and exploring all those. Professionally, I am a licensed mental health counselor here in Minnesota, and I provide individual therapy at Acacia Counseling and Wellness. I think that stigma can be kind of a conscious or unconscious agreed upon negative bias towards something. And when I say agreed upon, I kind of am hinting at there about kind of like culturally agreed upon. Like we as a community have kind of agreed to have a negative bias towards something. I think there's a lot of things that go into somebody's mental health, including their biology and kind of the brain chemistry that makes up someone's mental health. Also, there are cultural and socialization factors. Spirituality or someone's decision to not be spiritual affects mental health for sure. And then lastly, just someone's personal psychology or kind of how they see or perceive themselves in their world contributes a lot to mental health. And I think that, you know, especially for me and my community, again, as kind of that Minnesota Midwestern community, we really try not to rock the boat. And I think with a lot of these personal factors in mental health, there's some concern that, okay, if I bring up a problem here, or if I'm struggling with something really personal, you know, I don't want that to bring down the mood. Again, with stigma having this inherently uncomfortable negative bias, it assumes that struggling with mental health is abnormal, or that anyone struggling with mental health is deficient in some way. Mental health stigma looks different across ethnicity, across age, across gender. I have at least personally seen in my work in counseling a more openness towards mental health and feelings, emotions, discussions about feelings and emotions. With younger generations. Another area that I think is important to consider and to talk about for mental health stigma is culture and ethnicity, right? And so mental health stigma definitely looks different across different ethnic backgrounds and different parts of the world and different cultures for sure. I think traditionally, just mental health and even therapy, the world that I kind of exist in professionally, has been really white dominated. And understand that maybe that's the stigma of mental health is even greater in like the BIPOC communities or communities of color that don't see as much representation of themselves. I think something people can do to help destigmatize their maybe judgments towards mental health is to just really reflect on what your current relationship is like with mental health and work to understand what systems in your culture or systems from your family of origin or systems in the environment where you live, how those contribute or feed into your ideas or your notions about mental health. Conversations with your community, conversations with your friends and your family only help to better inform your relationship with mental health. So I encourage people to stay open in talking about it. Both increase your resilience to that discomfort in talking about mental health, and also lead to a lot of learning, and that's something that I think goes a long way.